Hello, everybody. Okay, so this is the part B of that button. I found out that that button video just it was taking up too much memory and was making it so that I couldn't play it. So I've tested out my movie and in Animate, and it jumps from scene one to scene two. So, or from welcome to scene one. So right now on my screen, I have my welcome here. I'm going to do a quick test of my movie in Animate. When I do test Animate. And by the way, if you do find that you have problems, and I've been getting this Java runtime error, and I think that it's one of those things where I have got to figure out what's going on with this test version of this. But I found out when I restart my computer and restart the program, it usually fixes the issue. So I'm going to take and I'm going to continue with the instruction here, and then I'll go back and I'll do a retest on this. So right now we have our button here, okay? Our button has got an action script for it. And so the action script will now, and if I open up my little actions palette, so right now I'm on this, and I want to open up the actions palette. Now, one of the way you can do that is just clicking on frame 60 where the actions are, right click on it or control click on actions, and you'll see you have the stop script and then you'll also have the button script, okay? So what this is going to do, this is going to allow the button to move when you click on it to move to the next screen. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that I did not put the label on top of this button. Well, the reason why I didn't put that on there is because I can reuse this instance over and over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take and put the text for the button over top of it on the stage itself instead. So here I got buttons. I'm going to put in there, I'm going to call this one BTN for button and then text. Okay? And if I do that now, I'm going to go out and grab my little text tool or type tool, click over it, type in there next, and I can change the color of this anytime I want. But so now the button is there and it's got next over top of it, and I can reuse this button over and over again. So I have it now. It's going to jump this instance over to scene one. Well, what I want to do on scene one is similar thing. I'm going to delete this here just so you can see it. So scene one, just like we did before, I'm going to go over to my library. I'm going to grab my button and drag that out onto the stage and make sure I drag it in onto the buttons layer. Okay. Now for my scene one here, I want this to go back to my welcome message. Okay. So this instance right there is on there. I'm going to go to my properties. Go to my properties, and for the instance, this one is BTN, and then I put in there what it's going to do. So this one is go to welcome. And what I'm doing is, like I said, it doesn't matter what you type in there for the exact title. I'm using the what it's going to make it so it's easier for me to recall what the button is supposed to do. Okay. And just like before, I'm going to take and convert this frame right here where it sits into a keyframe. Okay, so I'm going to go to my convert to keyframe. And then I'm going to go click on the instance itself, click on my keyframe itself. And then if I do a control click, choose actions, I see that right now I don't have any actions on this one. Now, I still probably have that stop script, and I can see that I have that stop script on here. But in this particular case, I don't have anything else on here. So if I click on that little actions, it's going to say stop. Now, I can go to my code snippets, go to my action script, timeline animation, go to this scene and play. I got to select the object, and you'll get this little warning. It's just saying that I didn't click on the object. So now when I click on the object, now if I do my code snippets, go to the scene and play, now it's going to paste it in there for me. Well, I don't want to go to scene 3. I want to actually go to my welcome screen. So welcome. And then I'm going to close this down to apply it. And so now, and I'm going to change it. I'll put a text on top of this. So create a new layer. And I'm going to put in there button text. You'll notice that I don't use spaces a lot. It's a habit from programming days, but spaces can usually get you in trouble. Sometimes it doesn't recognize. So in this case, I'm actually going to take this one. I'm going to make it go back to my welcome screen. So I'm on my buttons layer. I want to put text on there. So I'm going to click on my type tool, click on it, and I'm going to go. Well, I could put in there previous if I wanted to. It doesn't matter exactly what text you put in there. It could be going to a specific scene. So I got that on there. And now what we do is I'm going to check and see. Now let's hopefully my thing works. I'm going to save my file here. So save as, and this one is button part 2, part B, and save that one. And then let me test this to see if it works. So I've been having a number of problems with my computer. Give me a little error. See this initialization error. So I'm going to see if I can figure out why it's doing that at the moment. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to pause the recording, and I'll go back to the figure what that little error message is, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to pause recording. Okay, so one of the things that I found is going through my testing, and I'm still running into an issue with this, is that I'm getting an error initializing runtime error. And what I did, just like everybody else, I'm recommending everybody else did, I just did a Google search and found a number of forums associated with this. Now, the forums that I'm dealing with right now seem to be reading for the PC. I'm going to look for the Mac version. But what I want to do is basically put up the video that I was working on, so we're not waiting for that. And then I'll take and figure out what's going on with the runtime error with it. The video that I have here should give you all the information you need to complete creating the buttons and then testing them. If you run into any issues, certainly let me know. Add a message into the discussion forum, and we'll work on finding a solution for that. But I don't want to hold off on this video any longer. So I will send this off, and we'll see what comes up next.